Hello, my name is Jim Murphy. I am the director of Pixar's newest short film, Lava, that will be showing in theaters this summer, June 19th, with our newest feature film, Inside Out.
The start of a big year for Pixar. We had a very rare year off last year, and we're getting not one but two feature-length Pixar films.
It's going to be good. Yeah, we're so excited.
It must be pretty crazy in the Pixar offices, though.
It is, but I think everyone's super excited about both films and just eager to get on to this year.
Mm. Well, let's talk about Lava. I guess the fact that Pixar still show shorts before films is I think such a beautiful thing, and with all of their films, with all of the short films, it's always music or silence being the provocative part of it, going back to the early days of filmmaking. Tell me a little bit about how you approached this film, obviously music playing a big part.
Well, when I decided to pitch, the way it works at Pixar is anyone can pitch ideas for shorts, but you have to pitch 3 ideas. So I wanted all 3 ideas to be very different. Mm. So I love cartoons, obviously, and I also love music. So music is my other great passion. So when I decided I was going to pitch ideas, I also wanted to pitch ideas about things I really loved and things that I could really connect with emotionally. So I've always had this fascination with Hawaii. And when my wife and I got married, we honeymooned on the Big Island in Hawaii, and I just was absolutely enamored with the islands and with volcanoes. I think all kids love volcanoes, and seeing Kilauea when I was on my honeymoon just blew my mind that these actually do exist, and it's just so profoundly beautiful, what the volcanoes are. So I had those 2 ingredients. Like, what if I could do something with Hawaii and something with volcanoes? And I also love Hawaiian music. And several years ago, my wife and I were watching an episode of ER, and it featured Israel Kamakawiwo'ole's version of Over the Rainbow. And when I heard it, I was absolutely mesmerized by this song that I immediately recognized from The Wizard of Oz. But to hear the emotional depth of Iz's vocal and the sweet allure of that lonely ukulele, it instantly transformed that into a Hawaiian song for me. And it was really those ingredients that I thought, okay, what if I can put all these ingredients together and come up with a really cool idea? And I ended up doing a little drawing on a napkin that said, I love you. And I thought, all right, I'm going to try to write a song with I love you and I just kind of went for it and just started playing with lyrics and playing with, developing the story. And I developed them together, and this became one of my ideas that I pitched.
So a very rare instance where the music perhaps came first.
Absolutely. and it actually, and it drove so much of it. So we actually had usually the music comes after after you have the picture and you're kind of creating a score to enhance the emotion and the storytelling. Or we had the whole music beforehand. So we were actually animating to the song. We were able to, edit to the song and really kind of use it as a preemptive ingredient rather than an after.
A very expensive music video.
Yeah, very expensive music video. Absolutely.
With it doesn't take overnight to make these films. How far back does that story that you told me go?
Well, the honeymoon was 25 years ago, but I didn't really have the idea. I just had that. I started to get the little the love of the islands. Mm. I would say the idea goes back probably about 3 years ago to when I actually just sat down and started really figuring out that I was going to do this. And then the process, it probably took a little over a year and a half to make it, which it could be done in a much shorter amount of time. But when you're making one of these shorts, you're at the mercy of the features. Mm. So you can't always get the resources you need when you need them. So we kind of got slowed down a little bit at times, and all of a sudden we got sped up. And so you kind of got to roll with the punches and take people when you can get it and be ready when they call your number.
And this being, obviously, you've worked with Pixar for a long time and you've worked in animation for a long time, but but it's your feature, your film debut, your short as a director. What were some of the challenges that you faced that maybe you didn't expect to, as someone who had otherwise been on the outside of that process?
I think there's two things that come to mind. Or I think number one, I have 3 children, and in raising kids, I've realized that your children are never going to grow up to be who you want them to be. They're going to grow up to be who they are. And the sooner you realize that as a parent and you help them become the best who that they can be, the more pleasurable the experience is going to be. And I feel the same thing about making a film, that you go in with these ideas and you kind of have to give up some of your initial ideas and embrace what the realities and the truths of each stage of production reveal to you about who your film wants to become. And I didn't expect that as much as, what a terrifyingly invigorating feeling that is, where sometimes it's hard to let go of your babies, but when you do, and you become even more excited about what it leads you to, it's really exciting. And we had several instances on this film where certain things that we couldn't do inspired us to do it a different way that was even better than we ever dreamed. So that was like the biggest revelation for me.
And animating lava is not something you see every day. I don't know if lava's been a part of a Pixar film in the past. I was running back from a memory bank, so I couldn't think of anything. So animating lava, what was that sort of the actual lava itself?
Yeah, it was interesting because we looked at a lot of reference, and there's not only the animating to get the feel of it and the scale of it, but also to get the right glow and the color of it. And so much of it is a credit to our effects team. Like, this film is an effects extravaganza. There's so many effects in the film, but what I'm the most proud of is I don't think the effects never really call attention to themselves. They really enhance the personality and the character of every scene, or they enhance the emotion of the story. And I feel like that's what's great about the effects. Like, I just find it so satisfying when the characters are singing and you've got fireworks of lava as love going off in their heads. It just gives it, I think it's a great symbolic meaning that give the effects are part of the character's personality. That's kind of a rare opportunity that we had in this film.
And leads in well to Inside Out with different sort of fireworks going off in people's heads.
Absolutely.
Lewis Black and friends.
Absolutely. And I think both are films about emotions, which is so exciting to me that this pairing worked out so serendipitously, and I think it's going to be so fun to see them paired together all over the world.